Hi guys, it's Therese and welcome to another episode of TC Talk. So thanks for stopping by, and today I just wanted to give all my thoughts on Cobra Kai. So you've probably seen Cobra Kai floating around on your social media. It's become one of the most popular TV series out on Netflix, and yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. Needless to say, there will be spoilers all the way up to season 3, which is basically all the episodes that have aired out so far. So yeah. Long story short about what Cobra Kai is about. If you're familiar with the Karate Kid series, the Cobra Kai series pretty much takes place 35 years later. So you get to see what happens to the characters 35 years down the track after the very first movie. I'm guessing. My timeline is not exactly perfect on that, but it's a good ballpark. So yeah, I guess one of the things I liked when I first saw this series is backstory, and character depth. So if you are a fan of 80s and 90s movies, in particular 80s and 90s action movies, and you probably know that multidimensionality in characters was not a thing. You get the good characters, you get the bad guys. It's pretty much set how it is. You get a pretty simple plot, and well, it must be said, as much as I do have a soft spot and I do like Karate Kid when it comes to characterization, that was pretty much it. So when he introduced to Daniel, he's the poor kid, new kid coming from the block, and Johnny is a rich bully. And as far as Karate Kid movie is concerned, back in 1984, that's pretty much all you get. So luckily, or whatever, you get to see what happens to them 35 years, and you do get to see another side to Johnny's character and a lot of other characters too. So yeah, if you're a fan of nostalgia, you will like this series a lot because they do take a great effort in bringing back almost all the characters that were in the initial movie series. So not only Johnny and Daniel, Daniel's mother, but Ali, the girl in the first movie, as well as Kumiko and Chosen in the second movie. So yeah, it's a fun trip down memory lane, if nothing else, and nostalgia is brought all the more to the 80s because of its music, and in particular Johnny himself, who is a character very much from the 80s, just a brash guy who just wants to be himself and doesn't care what anybody else thinks. So if you're that person that is just tired, for example, of over political correctness or being overly fake polite, then you probably like him a lot. I just found him to be very entertaining, if nothing else. Just definitely, since he's very stuck in the 80s and lacking not the most tech savvy, he does need a lot of help from Miguel and people to get him online and on Facebook and all the other social media and all that stuff as well. So yeah, I guess I do like the fact that they do give another dimension to all the characters, even Kreese. So if you guys don't remember who Kreese was Johnny's teacher back in the first movie, and yeah, you probably think of him as very horrible, but if you look into the series, particularly in the third season, you get to see another side of him. There are moments where you get to see moments of compassion, almost, or at least human decency, and just think, okay, so he's not always just a horrible person, and it does delve into his past, and you get to see why he becomes the person he is and why he trains so hard. Obviously, you don't have to. You may and may not agree with his methods. That's kind of one of the plot points of the TV series, but at least you can get a backstory and an understanding as to why he does the thing that he does. I guess the other things that I like is just the introduction of the philosophies behind karate, about peace, control, meditation, all that stuff. Because if you're expecting kick-ass fight scenes, well, you do get that. I guess your mileage may vary on how skilled these kids are that they use. I'm not quite sure how much training that all the students did or how skilled they are in actually karate. They probably did use like a stunt double every now and then when they needed to do like break falls and all that stuff. But I think they did their job that the best job that they could. And even if you don't think that the martial arts was up to par with any other action movie that you've seen recently, at the very least you can take away the philosophies behind, you know, the training, all about, you know, standing up for yourself, having confidence, and, you know, health, you know, building a better body and nothing else. So yeah, there's that. I have to say, I think there were times where I think the pacing may have been a bit too fast, in particular when it comes to Miguel being in a coma and being basically getting better and getting up and walking around again in the space of a few episodes. It did seem really fast paced, and I guess you can understand why. It's just because they move the plot forward pretty quickly. But it does feel like that's probably not the most realistic thing that would happen. Like if someone was thrown off a railing and hit their back, it'll probably take a very long time, maybe even years, to actually, you know, get up running, let alone training in martial arts again. And on that note, I do have to make a commentary on the romance in this TV series as well. To be perfectly honest, I'm much more a fan of the series when it focuses on philosophy, character, a personal character development story, rather than, you know, romantic development, because that usually tends to come with romantic drama, and that I'm not as much of a fan of. And yeah, when it comes to, like, particularly Samantha, how she, based on the pacing, it looks like she bounces from one relationship to another. It's not the best. It's not the best, I think, in terms of writing. They probably could have done that a little bit differently to not make it seem so quick, because they didn't really give much of an explanation of why her feelings changed so quickly. But then again, I mean, even when it comes to, like, people changing allegiances, so by the time of those third season's end, there are basically 3 different dojos. So there's Daniel with his Miyagi-Do, there's Johnny, who started off Cobra Kai and then developed his new dojo after he, you know, got kicked out by Chris, called Eagle Fang. Go figure, right? So there's that, so there's him, and then there's Chris, who basically took over Cobra Kai. So there's three factions at the end of it. And you do see the characters change their minds on which dojo they turn to pretty quickly, and they turn against their friends and turn back with their friends, and you kind of think, wow, that was quick. Maybe they just wanted that for the finale. So yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on that. I am excited as to what will happen in the 4th season though, so we'll see how it goes. I am glad that they didn't make the 3rd season of finale all about the tournament, because that would have, I guess it would have been a rehash of the ending of the 1st season. I have to say that aside from Johnny, I do have a soft spot for Robbie as well, because I do feel like he's kind of got no good connections at this point. He's probably felt abandoned by you know, his dad, seeing him with Miguel, and then seeing his ex-girlfriend with Miguel again. So it's like, give the guy a break. Okay, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens in, you know, the 4th season. I guess I'll leave it at that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment, share, like this video, please subscribe, because I'm going to try and see if I can do more reviews, I guess on a weekly basis, and I'll leave it at that. Again, thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you next time.